Vols are back.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get a dog right now. Everybody worried about the crown big. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a PI, kind of time we on. Jump roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a whole up class. Hit the gab, I talk that gap. Strut like up and I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Get that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Told them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang when they drop in hit. Stand on the man, post up, no miss. Over your head, next time don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this.
Blah blah blah. Does that not hit extra hard this week? That is something I can definitely say. Oi, fellow comrades, it is Squidtard here with my boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Julio Rodriguez. Sifs can't join us this week, so unfortunately we'll be missing him for this show, but that's all right. His girlfriend's birthday is today, so he can't make it. So, but anyway, welcome to episode 58 of the Vol Star Podcast, and we just came off a humongous road victory, and I could not be happier about it. We're sitting here in top 5 in the nation, undefeated. All the narratives about Tennessee ain't played nobody and they suck and wait until they play a real team. Most of them have been destroyed, except for those of the simple-minded dummies that are still holding on to the idea, oh, Tennessee ain't played nobody, they ain't played nobody, they suck, you know, they just got lucky because Oklahoma ain't got an offense. Yeah, heard that one before. But yeah, anyway, how are my two co-hosts doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing
good.
Spectacular. All right, good to hear. We got a couple of people in the comments already. What's going on? Nate the Great, Bobby, Amada. Glad to see you all in the stream. And yeah, well, as usual, the only thing we're going to talk about today is just some Vol football, talk about the game, talk about everything that happened in week 4, and then give our preview on week 5. Now, it'll be shorter than all of our other previews because for at least the next 2 weeks, Tennessee will remain undefeated because we are on a bye week before we head to Fayetteville to play Arkansas. So, of course, next week's show we'll talk about that game and everything that happened the week before. But for today, we're sticking specifically to the Oklahoma game, talking about that. And then we'll, of course, talk about the week 5 games. So, well, I guess we'll start out with what a huge victory, fellas. I am very, very proud of this team. And a lot of the narratives have quickly died out about Tennessee, you know, being overrated and wait until they play a real team. They're going to look like trash. And, you know, there's a lot that we can learn from the game. First of all, the biggest thing that we can learn is that Tennessee's defense is absolutely elite. We have one of the best defenses in the country, and I don't think there's any there's no debate for that. We have an elite defense now. I think we can stick with that. And watching our offense on Saturday was at times very, very frustrating because it was very linear, ran up the middle, do the screen, that whole ordeal. And I was thinking to myself, like, why would we be doing this? But I get it a little bit more this year than I did years previous because obviously, just like I touched on, elite defense. That'll get the job done in any situation, or at least most situations we play. So, again, proud of this defense. Really, really good job. Wasn't the best game by Nico, probably his worst game of his starting career. But you're going to have these types of games, especially when you're in the SEC and you've got to go on the road in these hostile environments. But, this is the first road win against a top 15 team for Tennessee since 2006. So, without a doubt, anything anybody wants to say about Tennessee is through one ear and out the other when it comes to the naysayers saying, duh, they suck. Because obviously that ain't true. Tennessee has one of the best wins in the country right now, and there's no denying that. Now, I'll take it over to you guys. You guys give your thoughts on the game.
Oh yeah, we played pretty well. I was pretty disappointed in the offense, to be honest with you, but I can kind of understand why we called vanilla for most of the game. Part of me feels like Heupel knew he had control of the game, and because that field was so awful, like that field was atrocious. Even the announcers were talking about it, how bad the field was. I feel like Heupel was calling vanilla plays because the field and because he knew, of course, this defense is really elite, and he felt like he had control of the game. Also, another thing, credit to Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's defense is legit. I hate to say it, but Oklahoma's defense is really good. They're not elite, but they're still really good.
Well, that was their strong suit in this game, and we all kind of knew that rolling into it, that the strong suit of both of these teams was the defensive lines.
Yeah. And also another thing that sucked, of course, was having two starting offensive linemen out. Lance Hurd didn't play, and then somebody else didn't play.
Well, he played, but he didn't play a full game. John Campbell played 34 snaps,
Yeah. But yeah,
so that definitely hurt.
offensive line definitely hurt because Dane Davis is absolutely horrible. I don't know how he hasn't been cut yet. Like, I feel like you could literally put some Joe Schmo out of there, up out there at offensive line, and he'd still play better than Dane Davis.
I mean, I don't know. I felt more comfortable about it. I know he was getting picked on. It wasn't really just Dane Davis. Those 2 sacks were from him, but also I know Sampson at least missed the help on that one because that's what he was in the backfield for.
Yeah. Well, it definitely wasn't all him. It wasn't like if Lance Hurd was starting in this game that Nico would never get sacked or have pressure on him. But Lucas does have a good point. It's sort of he was kind of the usual suspect when it came to quarterback pressure.
Oh yeah, no. I was just saying it wasn't completely on him because I know Sampson at least missed the what was it, the chip block on one of them.
Not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of surprised after we won this game, people aren't saying like, that we're overrated or something like this. I figured people would have taken something out of that we struggled on offense, but people are actually now saying that Tennessee is like a top 5 team and could contend for the SEC still.
Yeah, the
which
smart ones are. Yeah.
Yeah, because what really showed in that game that I really like is that we can win those types of low scoring games with this defense because like of course we said this defense is really good, especially Jermod McCoy. What a pickup out of the transfer portal Jermod McCoy has been so far. He has been elite. He has been lock down, man. He's been so good.
Well, it's not just like we the thing is, it's not just like we're good on defense. It's basically this season we are built for these types of games. The way the defense has played, they've been the strong suit of this team for the entire season. So far they've only let one scoring drive where the opposing team scored a touchdown happen. That's it. The one time. Which I'll get onto right now. First of all, Oklahoma's offense, while they aren't very good, obviously credit Tennessee's defense, but Oklahoma's offense obviously had its struggles. Jackson Arnold was absolutely horrendous in this game. He didn't know where to throw the ball. You got to be really, really bad in your game to be benched before the end of the first half for a true freshman quarterback.
So I saw some Oklahoma fans like, well, if we started Hawkins, we would have had a chance to win the game. Here's the thing: I think it would have been closer. I still don't think they would have won the game.
Agreed.
But also, if you look at whenever those big plays came, I don't know if you noticed who was out at linebacker. I don't know if there was any other backups in, but at linebacker, when the big play happened, we had Khalid Perry, who was a backup, and Edwin Spillman, who was a true freshman when he was like, well, I think it was like 22-3 when they went down. I think.
Yeah.
When they went down there and scored, And like someone said, why the hell were we playing? I think it was Eric Kane on Locked On Ball said, why are we playing Khalid Perry and Edwin Spillman when we're up only 22-3?
It's because I feel like Heupel knew he had control of the game. I think he feel like he knew he had control of it and wasn't worried about losing the lead.
Right.
At least that's what I think. I don't know what you guys think, but that's
I mean, maybe he knew he had it.
Was intentional. The vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was, and maybe he just wanted to put them out there to get them, accustomed to a big environment or whatever on the road. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess it just somewhat pissed me off, mostly just because we had that unscored on streak, and it kind of pissed me off.
Well, it goes back to kind of the point that I mentioned earlier. It's that Heupel. I think it was intentional why Heupel did that and became so vanilla at the end was because it's just like I said earlier. Nico had his worst game as a starting. In the 5 games that he started. This was his worst performance. And it's not that he didn't trust Nico, but there was no point when you're up by, we were 22-3, to take big time risks when you're being up like that. Because if Nico had, for example, thrown a pick, that could have thrown the momentum in Oklahoma's favor.
Yeah.
So, and we could have been having a completely different conversation right now. And turnovers make a huge impact in these types of low-scoring games. So I think, it was frustrating, but I think it was the right call in the long run.
It was. At the end of the day, it was. And I know, Squid, in your post-game video, you said you was, like, worried about, like, Oklahoma, like, coming back or something like that. Right?
Mm-hmm. And
honestly, when Oklahoma was trying to make that comeback, I honestly wasn't worried. I still felt like, we have this game locked down. I don't see Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, when they scored, there was only like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They would have needed to stop us, go down the field and score, and then do the same thing again. And that was a miracle at that point because by the time they got the ball back, it was down to 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then the Tennessee defense has been clutch all game long. It wasn't like they were just going to suddenly fall apart and die.
Yes. Another thing was they were like, well, he was carving y'all up at the end or whatever with the passing. The one big pass across the middle on that post route, our defender slipped on the shit turf.
Yeah.
Or on the field.
Yeah, groundskeeper crew needs to be fired.
He was running with him until he slipped.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
And I understand that happens time to time, but if that was on
Oklahoma
a well-kept field, I don't think he falls.
Yeah, Oklahoma trying to pull a South Carolina on us.
But
okay, please stop the trolling, man. That's so dumb. That might be the dumbest take. I'm not pointing to you specifically. You didn't say. But the dumbest take that I've heard is actually from Tennessee fans who said that the turf is beneficial to Oklahoma. No, it's bad for both sides. It's like when it rains and Ohio State fans say the reason why they lost was because of the rain. It's like it only rains for them and doesn't rain for the other team that they play.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was the same thing I was talking whenever we lost to Georgia. In 2022, they were like, well, the rain. I was like, no, we just got our ass kicked, guys. I mean, just accept it.
Exactly. Quit making excuses. That's just what happened. I do agree the turf was absolutely god-awful. It was horrendous. But that's not saying that, it's screwing over Tennessee and it's just beneficial to Oklahoma. They tried the same thing with the refs, and that's stupid too. So shut that whole thing down.
Really, the only problem, the only call I think I had a problem with was on the second drive where they scored near the end. Whenever they called roughing the passer against Arian Carter, like he barely touched him.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was
that's the most ticky-tacky call I've ever seen.
I remember, and Oklahoma fans want to say that the refs were helping us. We literally had more penalties than them.
Right. Well, again, it's a lot of those penalties that we had were actual penalties, but I do agree that roughing the passer was really, really petty.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like it was a fairly good ref game. I don't think it was really that bad. Now, I do think the
Mhm.
refs were doing a little, being a little bit slow near the end of the game by getting in the way of the snap, like they
Right.
sometimes do in Tennessee games.
Mhm.
I don't,
Yeah.
which I understand they have to get it set, but sometimes they take way too long.
And then
Yeah.
it's back to the Kiffining thing, because
Yep.
because it,
Faking injuries.
well, it wasn't like every player faked their injuries. Like for example, Kendall Dolby, who went down in the
Yeah.
game,
I
he
hope
had a
I
really
hope
really
he's all
bad
right.
injury. Yeah, I hope he's okay too. I haven't heard any updates on him, but hopefully, hopefully he'll be able to play the rest of the season. I doubt that's the case though.
The the thing that made that worse, if I remember correctly, this was his last season, I think. So if he doesn't get to play, that'll be his last snap. That's kind of sad.
He might get an injury red shirt, but because they
Yeah, I mean, I don't
usually do
know,
that
but
medical red shirts, but we'll see. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Hopefully, he's okay. But yeah, a lot of the other injuries in the game, you'd see players stepping up, and sometimes again you'd get cramps and players would fall over. But there'd be other times where they literally just look around. Oh, I looks like I better flop on the ground like a fish. And
we'll see.
it goes back to
We'll see.
Kiffin's pansy
See.
ass.
We'll see. I think we might have done it near the end or whatever. I think Peely went down, but I might could understand that one a little bit more considering it was the fourth quarter. You know,
Yeah.
like I can understand if you have cramps in like the fourth quarter or something like that, than if you have it like right at the start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Well,
well.
the
I'm
thing is, if
I'm
you're
just
gonna go down, at least make it look convincing. And some of those players didn't do that. And again,
Yeah.
it's unethical. Even Kirk Herbstreit called it out for what it was.
Yep.
It's not it's not like it's illegal, but it's extremely unethical, and it's all thanks to Kiffin's pansy ass. Back in 21, he couldn't handle losing to Tennessee, so he told all of his players to fake injuries.
Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a quality win. And I'm especially happy for Heupel on this one. He seemed really emotional about the win, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously he was, of course, a player at Oklahoma, and he loves Oklahoma, but of course he got fired from there. So, and I've seen people saying stuff like, "Oh, when Oklahoma gets rid of Brent Venables, Josh Heupel is going to leave Tennessee for Oklahoma." I don't see it.
It's copium. It's literal
I,
copium. They're so mad that Heupel beat them that they're hoping now that he comes back to coach at Oklahoma. And I've been telling them this, and I'll continue to tell them it's a downgrade. Our program is better than yours in most facets of college football right now. Better recruiting, better facilities, better players, better program, better record in the last 3 years. Like the list just goes on. It's a complete wash. So I'm sorry, but Heupel he's at the top of the mountain right now. The fans love him. Everybody loves him. No matter what happens, I guarantee you he ain't going to Oklahoma to coach.
yeah, he's not leaving, especially after what happened back in 2014 or whenever when he got fired.
That would
He
be
ain't
like
going.
if Nick Saban left Alabama to go coach at Michigan. At most, that's a parallel job. He's not upgrading by going to Michigan. That's just my thoughts on that. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they'll learn that pretty quick. So yeah,
But hey, Oklahoma, at least you got a defense now. You had to sacrifice your whole
that's
offense
true.
for it, though.
And we taught them the blueprints of their own offense because that guy that new quarterback they've got that subbed in, that dude is the real deal.
Yeah, if anything,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you should be thanking us.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
see, the other thing I'm gonna wonder is like, if the other quarterback looks bad in the game. Let's see. I think do they play Alabama this year?
I don't
Oklahoma.
think. No,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
do.
think they.
They do. They play
Oh,
them
they
at the
do.
end. Yeah, they play them.
Yeah. Okay. Do they? Who
At
else
the end
do
of
they
the
play? They
season.
play South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Their
Okay.
next game, and get this, their next game is against QBU at Auburn.
They're beating Auburn. Auburn is
Okay. I'm sorry
horrendous.
if you
They are
can't beat
beating
Auburn.
Auburn.
If they can't beat Auburn, we should kick them out at this point.
Yeah.
Hudson
I'm
Dean's
sorry.
right. Hudson Dean's right. The same Cope Arkansas fans have with Tony Vitello is the same one that Oklahoma fans have with Josh Heupel.
Yeah, I'm not being mean, but Auburn is horrible this year.
Yeah,
It's
Auburn is
the truth.
atrocious.
Yeah, they're a
Auburn
complete
is
mess.
atrocious.
Vandy's gonna beat him. Like I'm confident in saying that. I think
Well,
Vandy's gonna beat
so fun fact: if Vandy beats them this year, guys, you know what that means. Vandy and
the
Auburn,
series. Yep,
the series will be tied again.
Oh gosh. Oh,
Let
did
it-
y'all
make
see
it
that?
happen?
Did y'all see the new SEC Shorts video where,
I
of course,
did.
Mizzou almost lost to Vandy, and the Vandy guy got out of his tombstone, and he was hitting the pimp moves, and Missouri was covering up. She was like, "Nah, I need this, and then the Auburn guy comes in, and starts stapling the thing, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "After seeing them play and after seeing us play, I'm scared of him."
Yep. Oh yeah. They better get ready. That's all I'm gonna say.
Really, to be honest, if you look at Auburn's schedule, I only see one guaranteed win. That's how bad it is.
Man, is Hugh Freeze already on the hot seat?
That is possible. It's tough.
Like, by the way they're playing right now, I mean, they could easily win more games if they get better, but...
Yeah. Who in the world is Hank Brown, bro? That has to be the most generic name I've ever heard.
They have another quarterback named Walker White.
Walker White?
Yeah.
Bro, sounds like Walter White. What?
Yeah, I think his name is Walker White.
Is he from Albuquerque?
Okay, enough of that.
All
all I'm going to say to end this off, huge win for Tennessee, huge win for Josh Heupel. The narratives about him not being able to win road games are basically inept right now. They're gone. And the Vols are a real team. That's all we can really say. And get ready for Arkansas in 2 weeks. That too. That's important. Don't forget that. All right, then. Well, why don't we do this before we get to the rest of the games for the Week 4 slate? What would you guys say are the top 5 teams in the country right now?
In no particular order?
Yeah,
or
in no particular order. Just name the best 5 teams.
I feel like right now Texas is the best team. I know you said no particular order, but I think right now Texas is the best one. I'd say Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and I'd honestly say Tennessee. I think Tennessee right now is a top 5 team. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ole Miss has been playing good, but they've literally played nobody.
Yeah. Well, everybody seems to agree with you. Do you agree with that,
Julio?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds good to me. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what the rankings are set to right now. Did you guys see Tennessee's number 5 in the AP poll? They went above Ole Miss.
I mean, they couldn't really move us up too much higher because I feel like the top 4 is practically solidified until the Georgia-Alabama game.
We're arguing that Tennessee is a top 5 team. They're ranked in the top 5, so.
So the thing that pisses me off, if we want College Game Day to come here, we have to. Alabama has to win that. Because if not, they're going to Austin.
Oh,
yeah, I'm actually gonna root for Alabama against Georgia for that sole purpose.
I've been on that boat. Join me. I don't even care about the game day thing. I just want Georgia fans to shut the hell up because they're all on their high horse again, talking about how they're the main culprit of the whole Tennessee's overrated and they haven't played anybody. Because the only real team that Tennessee or anybody in the nation ever plays is Georgia. Everyone else sucks. There's only one good team ever, and that's Georgia. Go to any team ever. And Michigan beat USC. Oh, they suck. Wait till they play Georgia in the playoffs or whatever. Ohio State could beat whoever. They suck. Wait till they play Georgia. It's the same thing for Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, the whole ordeal. Ole Miss too. Hey, they all suck. No good. They're terrible. Wait till they play Georgia. Or the Georgia Bulldogs, the best team in the college football land. Remember that long time ago when we won a national championship? No, nobody does.
Bruh.
Nobody.
No, but so the thing is, if you look at their schedule, they have to go at Alabama next week or this week, whichever you want to say, and then they also have us at home near the end of the season. But between that, they have to go to Austin, and I think they have to go to Oxford.
Yeah, Georgia fans are on cope level max right now. You know how I know they're on that high level of cope? They're sitting here after us beating Oklahoma, trying to tell us that Kentucky's a tough road environment.
Bruh. Yeah, I guess go get your Kroger cards and buy yourself a tough environment with it. I don't know.
Woo, man. Oh, Kroger Field, man. You don't want to mess around with Kroger Field. Ooh,
Yeah, they'd be playing
scary.
shopping music there all day. I guess shopping music is scary.
We only beat Kentucky every time we walk into that stadium, but ooh, Georgia got to ride the struggle bus all day long when they play Kentucky. But
Yeah.
nope, they're better, man.
I'm-
Look at their defense, man. They're better than Oklahoma defense.
Now I will say this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if what it is with Kirby Smart whenever he faces Mark Stoops at home. He turns into a horrible coach. I swear to God.
Well, yeah.
He coaches his worst games against Mark
The
Stoops.
offense dies. You could say that.
Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he doesn't pull out any tricks. He just runs the ball a million times.
Well, that's
Like,
nothing
he
new
reverts
from
to
what
like a
they've been doing.
1940s offense.
That's
I'm like,
nothing new
Kirby.
from what they've been doing. They did the exact same thing against Clemson. It's nothing new.
All I gotta say is that Georgia better bring their A game when they play Tennessee, or this Tennessee defense could shut them down.
Well, now that the Georgia fans are all back, you know, they died in the last offseason after Alabama beat them in the SEC title game. And then after the offseason rolls around and they beat Clemson, they're all back up on their high horse. Everybody sucks. Georgia's, you know, winning the next 17 national championships. Carson Beck's going to win 900 Heismans. What else? Nate Frazier is the best freshman in the history of college football. Georgia is going to go on a... You get the idea. It's that all over again. And then they try and convince us Kentucky's a great team and Tennessee sucks and they ain't no good. They've never played anybody. Georgia's the only real team that they've ever played in the history of history. I remember back-to-back national championships a long time ago where nobody remembers. The whole ordeal continues on and on and on and on and on. It's a ridiculous pattern that if Alabama beats them this week, most of them are going to disappear off the face of the earth again. They can't handle a loss. They can't. Because the moment they lose, most of these people run off of YouTube. I mean, go back and look at my videos from before the Georgia-Alabama game last year and then afterwards. The infestation of all these trolly little Georgia fans, it was like yin and yang. One side, just an infestation of these parasites all over my post-game videos where we lost. Then the very next week, when they lose to Alabama, poof.
Yep, become a fart in the wind.
Exactly. And they're by far the most insecure fan base on planet friggin' Earth. Because if you don't say that they're the best team, and they are running around with pitchforks and about to jump out of a window because Texas is right ahead of them. Texas is better than you.
Yeah, Texas right now would absolutely clap Georgia.
Also, here's the other thing. Shouldn't they be happy someone's ranked above them? Because they usually play better when that happens.
They don't. You can't win. Because the moment they're number one, it's going to be, see, they're doubting us. Somehow they're doubting us when you're number one in the nation, but people are like, I don't think Georgia should be number one. Yep, doubting us. Wait till we play a real team and you'll find out. And then now that they're number two, doubting us. Yes, we are doubting you. You're not the number one team in the nation. Cry about it.
All right. So can we talk about a different game?
Yeah, let's do that. First of all, let's address let's get this out of the way first. I forgot to mention this at the start of the show like I always do, since we are so enamored and focusing on other things. But I'll start out with this. Obviously, if this is your first time being here on the Vol-Star podcast, first of all, welcome to the podcast. We're glad to have you over here. Secondly, we aren't affiliated with the University of Tennessee or anything like that. We're just full-time, big-time Tennessee volunteer fans over here. And whether or not you're a Tennessee fan of somebody else, even Georgia, we're glad to have you over here. So, yeah, stick around if you can. All right, the comments real quick. I want to address some of these. I think Tennessee might be getting to the point where they can beat Georgia. Very possible. Bowling Green having themselves a decent team this year. Yeah,
Bowling Green. Yeah. Bowling Green's a pretty decent group of 5 team this year, man.
Yeah,
Although
if
he did
they
say
had if they had a easier schedule and didn't schedule all those power four teams, they might get into the group of five playoff spot.
yeah,
Mhm.
but
Texas bandwagoners are crazy ASF right now. Like I've seen so many, and Georgia fans really haven't watched a Georgia game, so they have no idea how Kirby Smart plays at all.
yeah,
Mac the
I don't
Mustard
know.
Man, what's up, boys? Can't stay for too long. Just wanted to drop by. Well, I appreciate you dropping by. Means a lot. All right. Well, let's see. So, what should I guess? What game should we touch on this week? I guess we'll touch on this one. So I was wrong about Utah. I thought they'd lose to Oklahoma State, but they went out there and basically did the same thing Tennessee did against Oklahoma, which is dominate them defensively to the point that
Yeah,
Oklahoma State scored
I think I
garbage
picked
points.
Oklahoma State because it was at home.
I
Bad
thought you
decision.
picked Utah,
No,
Julio. You picked Utah with me.
everybody picked Utah except for me, or everybody picked Oklahoma State. Yeah, no, everybody picked Utah except for me.
No, no. Squid picked Oklahoma State and Sifs picked Oklahoma State. I picked Utah and Julio picked Utah.
Oh wait, I did pick Utah.
Yeah, because
So,
I
so
remember.
what I
couldn't
just
remember.
said.
For some reason, I thought. Okay,
You
for some
you
reason
said
I thought I
everybody.
picked Oklahoma State because I usually pick the home team. Maybe I was wrong. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, I said everybody picked Utah except for me.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
okay. I mean,
I'll be
yeah, I
back
mean
for a
that does
second.
seem
I'll be
like a
back.
pick. I'm a big Kyle Whittingham fan too, so it wouldn't surprise me if I did pick them. That I did pick them. He's a hell of a head coach. I do always find it ironic that he graduated from BYU and he coaches Utah.
Right. That's pretty funny. So Lucas forgot to do his dishes, so he'll be back shortly. Um, let's see. How about this? This one surprised me. I expected USC to go on the road and knock off Michigan, but instead the Wolverines held on at home and got the win. That was a huge play by Michigan at the end right there in the fourth quarter. They got that.
Man, we already talking about USC Michigan? Wow.
No, we aren't doing this in any particular order. We're just going around.
No.
Just talking about the games that look cool. I'm not going in any particular order like I do the Chaos series. But yeah, no, good win for Michigan. I'll say that completely changed the trajectory of their season. I'll say that much.
And Lincoln Riley's defense is still bad.
Oh,
Shocker.
wait, guys! Did you see that if the service academies who are both favored next week go to 4-0, it'll be the first time since 1945
Remember the
that they're both
last?
4-0.
Yep. I remember. I remember that, and I was like, "Oh man, Japan's shaking in their boots right now."
Oh my gosh. Good grief. Uncalled for. But yeah, no. I'll say this much. I guess this is the result of what happens when USC doesn't have a Heisman-winning quarterback or really any really good quarterback. Miller Moss did not look good in this game. He barely completed 50% of his passes. Still had 3 touchdowns, but definitely was far from his best performance.
Yeah. How do you let a team go 90 yards down the field, getting a touchdown by only running the ball? All Michigan did was run the ball.
If you want to hear this statistic, get ready to get your mind blown. You want to know how many passing yards Michigan had all game long?
I know they only had like 12 pass attempts. I would imagine they didn't have a lot of.
It was what, like, wasn't it like 30 to 40, something like that?
32. 32.
Man, that's worse than Oklahoma State putting up 48 rushing yards against Utah.
Yeah, damn.
They completely abandoned the pass and somehow still beat USC. That tells you everything you need to know about Lincoln Riley defense right there. Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Lincoln Riley needs to go back to being a coordinator.
Yeah, I agree.
He definitely has a better defense than usual, but it's still.
Well, that's like saying the Cleveland Browns in 2018 were better than the Cleveland Browns in 2017, the team that went 0-12. So, yeah. I mean,
I'll at least give them this: they're not giving up 30 points to San Jose State anymore. Yeah. But I mean that, like I said, that's like saying you're the tallest kid in kindergarten.
Yeah, we'll see. They still have some tough games down the stretch. We'll see if maybe I don't know. Watch like Minnesota put up 48 on them or something.
If
The
they
rest of
can't
their
stop,
schedule is kind of a cakewalk from this point onward. They don't play Ohio State or Oregon.
do they play Iowa? If they can't
No,
stop the run game, they're fucked.
they don't
Because that's
play
all
Iowa.
Iowa
Yeah.
does.
Well, they
Oh
don't
man,
play Iowa.
USC versus Iowa. That would probably be like the lowest scoring game of all
Well, they
time.
don't play them. They do play Penn State though.
Imagine Oklahoma versus Iowa.
Oh God.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't. Preferably, I think I'll skip that one.
That's like watching UMass versus UMass.
Here's one. This one kind of surprised me. LSU did beat UCLA, but UCLA is terrible and somehow kept it close with LSU all the way up until like the fourth quarter. So I'm not sure.
Wait, that reminds me. I actually have a sleeper in the Big Ten. I don't think they'll beat Ohio State or Michigan on their schedule, but they could win all their other games. Indiana.
They are
I'm being,
undefeated right now.
I'm being dead serious. They're looking really good.
Yep, Indiana's been looking good, man. Honestly, they should be ranked. I don't know how they're not. They should be ranked. I know they've been taking on cupcake teams, but they've been looking good, man.
Yeah, I mean they've been beating their competition by a good amount of points every week. So
yeah, I would imagine at some point, Kurt Kignetti, their Indiana's head coach, I feel like at some point, if he actually does turn that Indiana program around, I would honestly be shocked if he don't jump ship and go to a bigger program.
thing is, he kind of enjoys building programs. He built the Elon program in FCS.
Good old Elon Musk University.
Yeah, the Elon Phoenix, and then what was the other one? James Madison, and I think those are the only two coaching jobs I remember him having for this.
Now, I will say this: unfortunately, even though LSU did get the win, they took a major hit when it came to their defense, as Harold Perkins is out for the year with what looks to be an ACL tear. So, very unfortunate. That's probably the worst thing that could happen to this LSU team is for their best defensive playmaker to go down for the rest of the year. That's without a doubt the worst thing that could have happened to him. So
yeah,
it's always unfortunate to have injuries, but that literally, I don't think even if Nussmeier went down for the rest of the year, there's not an injury that could be more influential to the way this team plays than that injury right there, and I genuinely mean that. So I have no idea what their season's going to look like from this point onward, but yikes.
Yeah.
Tough loss for LSU, and hopefully Harold Perkins gets better and is able to stick in college football for another season. But we'll see. All right. How about BYU 38-9 over number 13 Kansas State? That's a shocker.
Get the beefy 5-layer burrito ready.
Yep. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Oh God. Kansas State. My God, what happened? How do you lose to the freaking Mormons?
Yeah, well, there's more embarrassing things that happened. This was probably one of the worst weeks in college football for the state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
How do you give up 70 points to James Madison? This is literal. James Madison just hired like a first-year head coach, bro. I would imagine maybe James Madison promoted like one of their OC or DC to the head coach or something like that.
Yeah, Georgia Tech fans jumping around, pointing, being like, "Look, told you about Jeff Collins. I told you."
Yeah.
He's the head coach at James Madison?
No. He's North Carolina's defensive coordinator.
Wait, I was like, what the hell? But yeah, Jeff Collins is a horrible head coach.
And I guess a horrible
coordinator too.
He should probably just stick to being a position coach, or heck, even go back to coaching high school football, or heck, even middle school football, or Pee Wee League football.
Or just become an analyst.
Or just go work at McDonald's. I don't know.
Maybe put the fries in the bag. Yeah, I don't understand how you keep a job when you let a group of 5 team put up 70 points on you. Like, aren't you? Isn't it your job to hold teams and not let them score?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. James Madison is a good Group of 5 team, but still, you should not be giving up 70 points to any Group of 5 team.
I do got a question though. So which one is worse? So this is from a couple of years ago. What's worse, James Madison dropping 70 on this North Carolina team, or when Florida gave up 52 points to Samford and
I'll
won
probably say
70?
Well, the North Carolina one because at least Florida won that game.
yeah.
So they still lost the game by 20 points. So
Yeah. A
Yeah, no.
blowout.
North Carolina obviously was not the team we thought they were. They're not good at all. Good luck the rest of the way is all I can say.
And
This could have potentially been Mac Brown's last year.
Yeah, he needs to retire already.
It might be. I've already heard talks about it, so it's very possible at this point.
And then NC State getting absolutely demolished by Clemson. That NC State win looking worse and worse every single week for us. But you know what? It's a good thing we blew them out. NC State's a bad team, and good teams are supposed to blow bad teams out, and that's what Tennessee did.
Yep, their offense has completely gone ghost.
Yeah. It's absolutely hilarious. People are pointing at NC State and be like, oh, look, Tennessee, you beat that NC State team? Yeah, we did. We absolutely crushed them, actually.
Took care of business.
What do you want us to do? We literally blew them out. We blew out a bad team, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're a good team.
Yeah. Georgia fans, what they want is for you to beat them by only 2 points. That's what.
Yeah, like what you did against Kentucky, Georgia.
That's exactly it. Because that's what's really impressive. Forget
Or
41
Mizzou.
Oh,
You're
no.
not off the hook, Mizzou.
Oh yeah. Oof. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we found the fraud amongst the top teams. That's what you should be going after. Bring Mizzou.
Yeah, I told you guys last week Missouri was overrated.
I don't know what the hell
Missouri-
happened to Brady Cook. He's become mid all of a sudden. I don't know.
I don't know.
What happened?
Last year Missouri caught lightning in a bottle, but now that lightning is
Well,
just
they're
gone.
lucky they have a horrible schedule.
Yeah, they're probably honestly 11-1 isn't even guaranteed anymore since you almost lost to freaking Vanderbilt.
Oh,
Who
10-2
the-
might not be on the table.
Who do they have on their schedule? I know they got Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama's
Well,
going to
they
derail
still-
them.
I mean, Oklahoma. They still have to play them. They play
That's a
Texas
potential
A&M after a bye
Potential
week.
loss.
And they play them in College Station. So
Yeah, that's a
Oh yeah, and
potential
then I think they
loss.
play Arkansas too. That's also
yeah, they play them at
be
the
up
end
to
of the year. They play South Carolina on the
Potential
road.
loss.
But then they also play, they play Auburn, UMass, Mississippi State.
That's a win.
Those are all.
They'll beat
they'll dominate all three of those teams. But Alabama, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas A&M too. Watch those 4 matchups. That's going to be interesting. That could tell the tale for the rest of the way. All right. Yeah. Anything else we want to cover for week 4 before we move on to the next week?
I can't really think of any big games that happened.
I mean, I guess there was the Colorado Hail Mary, but
That
I
was
mean,
that was insane. Yeah. Now
I
by that
didn't-
time I would have fallen asleep, but that was still pretty crazy when I saw it.
I still haven't seen it yet.
It's so goofy. Baylor was covering a Hail Mary 1-on-1 and not just putting their guys in prevent. It was terrible coverage.
yeah, I don't know what they were doing.
Not enough, clearly. And they let Colorado score at the very last play at the end of the game, going to overtime. And then the Baylor quarterback fumbled on their on Baylor's drive to win the game for Colorado. Then
Yeah,
they rushed the field.
Rushing the field against Baylor. Baylor, you got to be pretty stinky to lose to Colorado. And Dave Aranda, he needs to be fired.
He might be the first one off the board. He might be the first one in the coaching carousel. I'll say
Yeah,
that much.
he's bad. He needs to be fired.
Yeah, no, not very good at all. All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and roll into the slate for Week 5. got a lot of games to cover. I'll say that much. So first off, let me get these on the screen real quick. Would not recommend trying to do OBS and StreamYard at the same time. It's very, very tough. But I'm a professional, so.
So I guess since Tennessee ain't playing this week, I'm guessing we're saving the Georgia-Alabama game for last.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it if it's. Yeah, we're just gonna go down the line.
All
I
right.
don't care. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. But I ain't.
Yeah, we don't have to do it that way.
You want to go down then? Do you want to go down the entire list or just the power forward?
Yeah, just the big games and whatever other games you want to cover per the norm. We don't have the time for the rest of them. We've only got 13 minutes left. Yeah. All right, well, let's get rolling. So, Virginia Tech versus Miami. We'll start out with this one. Miami, a 19-point favorite.
Miami.
Canes, yeah, easy choice. No point to really talk about that one. How about this one? Rutgers undefeated after beating Virginia Tech, going up against Washington. Rutgers is a 2.5-point favorite against the Huskies. Can they continue their reign of dominance, or will Will Rogers go on the road and knock off the undefeated Scarlet Knights? What do y'all think?
I am going with Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm going with Rutgers.
Rutgers for the win. All right. Well, I guess not much decision on that one. Good to hear. All right, Kentucky and Ole Miss. Who we got here?
Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss spanks them just because usually we spank Kentucky, and it's also at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I'm gonna take Ole Miss, but I do think Kentucky covers.
I feel like either Kentucky makes it a pretty close game or they get absolutely destroyed. There's no in between.
And I'm taking the former in that one. I just think Kentucky just makes it a close game. It's Ole Miss is really their first true SEC test, so we'll see if they can show up in that one. All right, Minnesota and Michigan. Michigan a 9-point favorite coming off a big win against USC, and then Minnesota blown out by Iowa. Who do y'all got?
Oh, Michigan.
Bark. Julio, you agree?
Yeah, I agree with Michigan. Sorry, my mic was messing up.
You're good. All right, Wolverines it is. So no disagreements yet, but this one could cause one. Oklahoma State and Kansas State. So Kansas State is 6-point favorite in this matchup. Both of these teams coming off of their first loss of the season. Who's going to rebound, though? Who y'all got?
This game is so weird. I can see this game going either way. Man, if Kansas State didn't freaking lay an egg against BYU, I'd probably pick Kansas State to win this game. I just don't know anymore. I guess give me Oklahoma State to rebound.
I'm going to take Kansas State. I know they got blown out against BYU last week, but I'll say from what I saw, I thought their passing defense was worse than their running offense, running defense, which is good because if their rushing defense was really bad, I would pick Oklahoma State in a heartbeat. But I think they shut down Alan Bowman pretty good, just enough to get the W. I think it'll be a close game. Julio, who you got?
Kansas State.
Gotcha. All right. Well, there's the first disagreement of our picks. All right. Next up, Baylor and BYU. Baylor a 3.5-point favorite against undefeated BYU. I don't know about that.
Trap game.
That's Vegas is definitely fooling somebody with that one. Who y'all got though?
I guess I don't know. It's a potential trap game. I guess. I mean,
who does BYU have next?
After this game?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I think I'll take BYU. I don't know. I just don't like the way Baylor's been playing.
BYU plays Arizona, but they actually have a bye week. Yeah, they're not going to look ahead.
Okay, so I was just asking because I didn't know if they might play like someone bigger or whatever. the week after.
Yeah.
So I think I'll take BYU. I don't even know why Baylor's favorite. I know Baylor has lost a lot of close games, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go BYU.
Yeah, give me BYU in that one. All right, Maryland versus undefeated Indiana. Indiana a 7-point favorite. Can Maryland come in and spoil their fun, or will Indiana go to 5-0?
I think Indiana goes to 5-0. I think Indiana actually is a pretty good team this year. I think the Hoosiers go to 5-0 and will be ranked in the next poll.
yep, same thing with me. I think Indiana will finally get their 9-win season this year. Hot take.
All right, we'll see about
So,
that.
so
I'm not gonna say what you just said, but I will say they win this game. All right, next
I
up.
mean, I'm just
Oh, go ahead.
because if you remember when we played them in the bowl game during the Pruitt era, they were like 9-win Indiana and
Yeah,
stuff like that because they had never
yeah, that was
done
like
it.
one of
But
their best years ever.
yeah, which is kind of sad. But
It is
I'm
pretty
happy
sad.
for them. We're not playing them now, so
Yeah. All right, yeah. All right, moving on. Nebraska and Purdue on to Peacock. Nebraska 10-point favorite. I'm taking the Huskers
Yeah,
in this one.
Nebraska. I think they'll rebound. Purdue's bad. They're bad.
yeah, yeah. I'll take Nebraska.
All right. Moving on, scrolling down the list. Don't feel like covering any of these
Wait,
games.
wait,
This
wait.
is
Was that Buffalo?
what?
Wait, I was gonna say that Buffalo and what was the other one?
UConn?
The,
Oh god.
yeah. Well, the reason I was asking that is I'm wondering how good Buffalo is considering they did beat Northern Illinois, who was ranked. Which I mean, I
Okay.
Yeah,
know they probably shouldn't have been ranked, but
Buffalo should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame.
Buffalo Panthers. Yeah, speaking of Northern Illinois, let's cover this game real quick. And they're going up against NC State, who NC State, of course, looked terrible. Do y'all see Northern Illinois getting another upset?
Yeah,
I mean, I might could see it, but if they play the way they did against, I think Buffalo, I don't think so. But I think NC State wins, but I don't think it's by much. Also,
yeah.
fun fact, that's Dave Doran's, I think, former team, by the way. So,
Phenomenal.
You know what? Yeah, give me NC State.
Yeah, same here. I think they rebound and get the dub there. All right. Real quick, this one. This one could be pretty important for playoff contention. Both these teams are really, really good in the group of five, South Florida and Tulane. Both of them have lost to only Power 5 opponents. So this is going to be a really good one, I think. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna take Tulane solely because it's at home.
I'm riding with Golish.
The same here. I'm going with Alex Golish, baby. Give me South Florida for the win. All right. All right. Wisconsin and USC on the Big Ten CBS slate. USC a 14.5-point favorite against Luke Fickle. Who y'all got?
USC. I think USC will rebound.
Yeah, USC. Also, that Texas State, I know it's not like a sexy game, but Texas State, I think, could be a contender for the group of five playoff spot, considering I think their only losses to Arizona State.
Cool.
Yeah. Sam Houston as well, man. Sam
Oh,
Houston.
are they undefeated or they got one loss?
They got one loss.
Oh, who's their one loss to?
I think I'm pretty sure it's to some Power 5 team.
Oh,
But oh well, we ain't got time for that.
so okay, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I'll take USC. I think this would be closer. I think Wisconsin covers, but I think USC is going to hold on and get the dub. All right, this is a big one right here. Louisville and Notre Dame, both French top 15 teams. Louisville, this is their biggest challenge yet. Notre Dame looking for a rebound. They're 6.5-point favorites and are looking to get revenge for what happened last year. I'm going to take Notre Dame to get the dub here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Notre Dame. I'm gonna take Notre Dame.
I'm taking Louisville.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, on to the next game. Auburn and Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma. Don't need any.
Oklahoma, and they covered the 2.5.
Absolutely. No question about it. All right. Arkansas and Texas A&M. A&M 3.5-point favorites. This is in Arlington. Who y'all got?
This game is, I don't know. This game's weird.
It's really weird.
Ain't it? I mean, Arkansas, the only bright spot I see for Arkansas on that team is their quarterback Taven Green. I guess
Yeah.
They have Jaquindon Jackson's a good running back.
They have they have one of the best rushing games in the SEC, probably the best.
Yeah.
yeah, you know
Statistically,
what?
it is the best.
I guess I'll take A&M. I'll take A&M. But
I'm
that
going to
game,
go Arkansas. I think that rushing attack is just going to be too much for A&M to handle.
God, this is such a coin flip because, Elko's a defensive minded coach.
Right.
Uh,
I
I
just don't
think
think his pieces
I,
are in there
I don't
yet.
know. I think I'm gonna roll with Arkansas just because I want them to be. I don't want them to lose the week before us. So give me that.
All right, well, there you go. All right, moving on. TCU and Kansas, both these teams desperate for a win. This is a tough one to call. Kansas a 2-point favorite. It's tough, and I hate to do this, but I'm going TCU.
I think I'm gonna go TCU as well. Kansas hasn't really been playing well.
Yeah, I think I'll take TCU.
All right, we'll see if Kansas can prove us wrong next week. All right, Colorado and UCF. Central Florida, 14.5-point favorite. And, the Buffs, you already know the story about them, so no point covering that. Who y'all got?
I got UCF and Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I got the Gus bus. I think it might be closer because Gus always struggles with some explosive wide receiver play. So
Right.
I think it'll be closer. I think Colorado will cover, but I think that UCF will win.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Julio. I think UCF wins outright, but Colorado covers. So we'll see how that goes. I'm okay. Texas.
Oh yeah, why are we even covering this game? Texas will win
Texas.
that
Yeah,
one.
Texas. Come on. Keep it real.
The Liberty also is undefeated still,
Cool.
but I think they'll beat App State. So
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Ohio State against Michigan State. They came off a loss to Boston College. Really close game, but yeah, Aiden Childs did not have a great one. Do y'all see Michigan State beating Ohio State at home?
no,
At some point, I gotta call for an upset. You know what? Why not? Give me Ohio State.
I got Ohio State on this. You mean Michigan State or are
No,
you trolling?
I'm picking Ohio State. I was just saying that to throw you guys off.
That wasn't even. Come on, man. If you're gonna do that, at least make it clever. I'll take Ohio State. Daggum.
At least make it clever,
That was pretty goofy. I'll say that much. What you just did. Okay, fine. We'll come back to this one in just a minute. All right, 7:30 slate on NBC. Both undefeated teams, Illinois and Penn State. Penn State an 18-point favorite. That's a steal right there. I'm gonna take Penn State outright to win, but I think Illinois covers that. This is gonna be a close game. I think. I like both of these teams. It's gonna be a low-scoring defensive game. I think Penn State holds on at home though.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Penn State as well, but I think Illinois covers.
Give me the Illini in the upset.
I like it. It's I like it. Smart move. All right. Let's see. Scrolling down a bit. Why not? Florida State and SMU. SMU 5.5-point favorite. I'm taking SMU.
Yeah, SMU.
All right. No point in talking about that. We'll see if Florida State can prove us wrong and maybe go on a winning streak. All right. How about this one? Washington State and number 25 Boise State. Washington State still undefeated after what happened against San Jose State, and that absolutely just insane barn burner. Who y'all got?
You know what? This will be my upset. Give me Washington State.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take Washington State too. I want to ride the undefeated hype train.
I like it, but I'm gonna take Boise State. I think they hold on at home, get the W, and knock off Washington State. All right, next up, Arizona and number 10 Utah. Utah 12.5-point favorite. Who y'all got for this one?
I'm gonna take Utah.
All right, the Utes for me as well. And Julio, you agree?
Yeah, I said Utah.
Spectacular. Okay, one last game before we wrap things up here on the podcast. Everyone's favorite, and this is a huge matchup for the SEC. Georgia and Alabama, both teams undefeated, both in the top 5. It's in Tuscaloosa, and Georgia has not beaten Alabama since the national championship in 2021. Who do y'all have getting the dub here?
Man, the matchup predictor went up quite a bit for Alabama.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
no, they're predicted to win.
Oh, jeez.
Well, by the matchup predictor, the spread says Georgia by 1.5. So it really does feel like a coin flip because you really have no. We've seen what both of these teams look like in a hard fought, strugglesome game. So it's not like they haven't been tested yet. It's really hard to tell. So as usual, I'm going to throw it down to you guys. You get to pick first on who's going to win.
All right. I don't know, man. Georgia, every single time they take on Alabama, it seems like they lose besides that one national championship game. Alabama has been Georgia's kryptonite. But, of course, now Nick Saban is gone, so you think that maybe the tyranny will end for Georgia where they stop losing to Alabama. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's at Alabama. And plus, I've been more impressed with Alabama, to be honest with you. Alabama, yes, they struggled to USF, but at least they was, of course, able to pull away, unlike Georgia was against Kentucky.
Well, also, it's been shown South of Florida likes to hang around with bigger teams.
Yeah.
So.
And plus, Jalen Miller, last time these two teams played, Jalen Miller was able to run all over Georgia, and that's kind of Georgia's weakness. So, you know what? Give me Alabama.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Alabama, too.
Wow. Okay, so that's 2 for Alabama. And I guess my thoughts will be as quick and easy as this. I think this is going to be a really close game. Kalen DeBoer has already proven that he has the strength and the personnel to keep up with Georgia. And I think Georgia is going to have a very hard time offensively battling against this Alabama defense. I could see a potential shootout in this game, but I don't see that happening. Both teams have pretty good defenses, especially Georgia. And I hate these people. You guys know. I hate Georgia, and I hate their fans more than anybody. There is not a fan base that has been more toxic ever since I've gotten on YouTube than these absolute parasites right here. But as much as I hate them, they have the best head coach in the country, and they've had a full-time week to prepare for this one. I think Georgia goes on the road and beats Alabama. I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be a one score, like a one possession, maybe 2 score type of ordeal. But I think the Bulldogs go on the road and knock off Alabama. So that's my analysis. Hopefully I'm wrong because I want these bums to lose more than anybody. But I think Georgia goes on the road and gets the dub.
If Georgia comes out and loses to Alabama again, I feel like nobody should ever pick Georgia to beat Alabama ever again.
And I won't.
But the only reason I really picked Alabama because I feel like it's a coin flip is just I want College Game Day here.
Yeah,
that is true. I can't deny that. I would like to have College Game Day. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. To Georgia, to me, and especially with the bye week to prepare, it's a genuinely scary team to face. So we'll see how it ends up, but that's what I think about that game. We're in for a pretty good week 5, though, is what I can say. But yeah, we're an hour past, so it's about time to wrap things up here in the podcast. So we're on a bye week, so we can't put the whooping on anybody this week, unfortunately. We get to hold the whooping for another week until we play the Razorbacks in Fayetteville. So we'll see how that goes. Lucas, Julio, any finalizing words for the people on the podcast?
Go Vols, and hopefully Bryce can bounce back from, I think, if I remember correctly, losing to Army.
Yeah. What we'll do? Yeah, why don't we hit up on that real quick? So what's that? What's Rice's record right now?
They're like 1-2, 1-3, and I think Central Michigan's like 2-2, and then UTEP's winless.
Yeah.
I could have sworn Central Michigan lost.
No,
they came back.
We came back and beat Nutsack State, baby.
Oh, wow. I can't find it nowhere. Where is it?
Oh, if you're on the
Juilo-
ESPN app, you have to. It automatically sorts by
Yeah, it
top
switched to top
25.
25. So freaking stupid. Okay, yeah, no, y'all did come back. Wow. Yeah, I see it now. Neat.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna win this bet.
Looking like it.
Too early
Yeah.
to call, but I think it's a race between the two of y'all because we're 0-4, so we can go.
You never know with the Mac.
Right.
They always beat up on each other in the Mac. They can't let any of their brethren get into the group of playoff.
Right.
Like,
Maction takes no breaks.
Yeah, not the playoff conference, sir.
The last time they were undefeated was when Western Michigan went undefeated, then lost to Wisconsin.
Yeah, see.
Toledo almost went undefeated last year.
And I mean, yeah, well, actually, Toledo in the 70s actually won like 30 straight games in the 70s. I don't know if y'all know that.
Oh,
They won like 3 straight Tangerine Bowls. Fun fact.
Oh, Toledo, a group of 5 blue blood.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, the good thing is, we're on a bye week this week, so we may win against them. We're the underdogs in that one, so we'll see how it goes. Scary matchup, so we'll see. But yeah, no, Rice and Central Michigan are both favored in their games, so we'll see who can hold on. If Rice loses and Central Michigan wins, we might have to go ahead and pay Lucas, but we'll hold that one off until the end of the season, of course. So that's what that's looking like. We'll update we'll update you guys on that, of course, next week, and we'll talk about the Arkansas game next week as well. So, as always, you already know where we'll be next week, Monday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Vol-Star Podcast, and hopefully we've got a full crowd for that episode. All right, well, as always, we'll see you guys next time. As always, power to Tartan area, but more importantly, for the sake of over here on this channel and this crew, go Vols, baby, and put a whooping on the bye week.